For this task, you're required to plan and conduct a program. Now, the program can be for an individual or a group, but your teacher will probably provide you more advice on what they want you to do. They might have a group of people in mind that they want you to program for. Now, if we look further down the page, you can see that the program may relate to fitness, a component of fitness such as strength, endurance, and flexibility. There might be other components of fitness you're welcome to do, like power, for example. Skill development, so skills such as throwing a ball or kicking a football, they're just examples, but there might be other ones. Or a game, so again, sport, but more game understanding and play. So the program could relate to any of those four areas. So part one is set out into three sections, section A, B, and C. Now in section A, you need to plan the program for the individual or group. What you need to do is you need to come to the template at the bottom of the page here. Now with these templates, you can just press on them to view them, but if you want to fill them in, you need to press this download button. But we'll just view it for now. So we've got a typical program plan here. So in the first section, you need to fill in what the participants' needs and expectations are. Now, your teacher might want you to print this off and write in here, or you may want to type in this section. So that's up to you and your teacher. But the participant needs and expectations, you will have sat down with the participant, worked out what their goals are for the program, what they want to achieve, what their expectations are of a program. This is the information you're going to put in this first box here. So objectives of the program is going to be a response to what's in the first box. So if in the first box they've written that they're looking to improve their cardiovascular fitness for well-being and to feel better during the day, in here you're going to say the objectives of the program are to provide a range of exercises and activity to improve the client's cardiovascular fitness. Special requirements of the group or individual. At the start you will have sat down with the group or individual and worked out if there are any special requirements. That might relate to injuries or illnesses they may have that's going to limit their ability to perform some of the drills. They might have a disability, or the participant might have another sport that they are doing of a night, and you need to consider that as part of the programming. So if they've got a karate tournament on one night of the week, you might need to consider that as part of the program. So you'd write that information in here. So then you need to list the venue and all the equipment required to run your program. Any assistance required. So whether you need another instructor to help you out or whether you can do it by yourself, again, will depend upon the size of the group, or whether it's an individual, which you'll only need yourself, or whether you need special assistance. Examples of this might be where you might have a specialist coach, like a running coach, come to help you for one of the sessions, whether you need a first aider there. If it's in the water or at the pool, you might need a pool lifeguard. In some cases, you might just write here, no assistance is required. I am able to run all components of the program myself. Transport requirements, again, this might be NA, not applicable, unless you're going to, say, a local pool or a local athletics track, or you need different facilities. Budget required, again, might be not applicable, but if you do need to hire another venue or pay for another coach, you would need to write in here how much it's going to cost to get that venue or specialist person involved in the program. For this part of the template, you need to do a risk assessment. Now, completing a risk assessment is explained in your learner guide, so it's fairly straightforward. Just do a risk assessment for 3 risks associated with your program. So the next section relates to information collected as part of the screening procedure. So when they fill in their pre-exercise or pre-activity questionnaire, you need to summarise that information here. So you're either going to write that the participant was found to be healthy and have no issues as part of this pre-screening process, you might write that in there. But if they said that they have issues with exercise or injuries or illnesses, you would summarise that information in here. So based on screening results, is referral to a health professional required? So again, if they've got a major condition, you'd say yes, but otherwise say no there. And if yes, who have you referred them to? Is it a doctor or physiotherapist or whoever? In section B, you need to plan out a 2-week program, which includes the goals, description of what will be covered in each session, and a session outline. So this is a person who's looking to improve their kicking. As you see, for week 1, I've said develop basic kicking technique and confidence kicking over 20-metre distance, whereas week 2, develop kicking skills on the run. So this only needs to be brief, but as you can see, for this session I've written in there, they're going to do kicking technique, ball drop, kicking technique, follow through. So I need you to say for 3 sessions each week for the program what you're going to be covering. Then you need to put in a session outline. Now, as you saw in the template earlier, I said what we're going to do for 6 sessions. For this session outline, you just need to provide one example. So for one of those 6 sessions that we looked at here, just provide an example of what's going to be covered. So what are you going to do as a warm-up? What are the activities you're going to do as part of the main body of the program? And what you will do as a cool down. So that's what you need to do for program planning. And last of all, for section C, you've got 4 questions to respond to. Now the first one is, what would a follow-up program involve for the participants? So after the participants have done their 2 weeks, they've obviously developed, what would the next level be for them if you had to put another program together? So again, a couple of sentences on that. Feedback you received from the participant or participants. Reflection on your own performance. So how do you think you went? What areas for improvement are there if you did it again? And adjustments you'd make. So for that 2-week program you've just done, what would you do if you ran that program again? So it's different to this one. This is a program that they would do now that they're more advanced and they've already completed the original program. This one is if you ran the original program again for someone else, what would you do differently? Once you've completed your template, you then need to click on Submit Assignment, choose the file, and upload your template. At the bottom of the page, you'll see an assessment rubric. This is for your teacher to fill in. It's worth looking over this to see what your teacher will be assessing this task against. If you've got any other questions about this assessment task, please speak to your teacher.